I've got a couple of reasons for recording this video. The first one is to just simply say that the way to find out if you got the banned version by actually playing the game, which is the way I would recommend to anyone as well, is it's actually really quick. You just start a new game, and within about 10 minutes, you don't even really need any weapons or anything. You just need a bit of money, and I believe that it's you unlock the hookers to get in the car after Pump Action Pimp, which is one of Luigi's. It's like the fifth or sixth mission at the very beginning of the game. You're going to do a few things. You get introduced to Misty the hooker, and then it's the mission where you go and kill the Diablo Pimp, and after that is when you'll be able to pull up beside a hooker, and you just sort of pull up beside them and they walk over. You bip the horn a few times and they get in. But it is a bit finicky, sometimes you might be driving around for 15, 20 minutes because, I don't know, maybe glitches or something, I don't know. But it will unlock after Pump Action Pimp mission. But if it's not working straight away, well, maybe go get a better, like maybe your car's too damaged, maybe you're just on a bad angle. Sometimes the hookers lean down against the cars and then just keep, like, they don't do anything, they just keep bobbing up and down. But you just keep doing it. You bip the horn, and once they get in, you just got to pull up in the bushes. Is probably the best spot. You can always luck out and find the other spots, but yeah, in the bushes is where you want to, obviously, where it happens quickly, sort of thing. But yeah, just remember that the best way to find it is to actually just see if you got it on the disc by playing it, and it only takes 10 minutes, and it's after Pump Action Pimp, one of Luigi's first ones. Now, the other reason for this video is to do with the disc that was used in the GTA 3 video that I uploaded about what it looks like. And many of you watching that would have noticed that it is a UK disc, and that's right, it is a UK disc, and the version that was pulled from the shelves is this hybrid version of a UK disc with the Australian printed everything else. And so, pretty much, first of all, just as a general thing to throw in there, is that when a game or when anything gets rated in one country, so we'll say, a game gets rated in the UK, it comes to Australia, the rating in the country it came from has no bearing whatsoever on what it's going to receive in Australia. They could do anything they want. They could deem it under our guidelines to whatever what they think it fits fairly under. So the idea of a game, a UK R-rated game being in Australian stores is nothing unusual, because it just means that it's just MA15, and an employee's either chucked the sticker on the cover, or they just didn't bother, or ran out of stickers, and it just whatever. And so there is a reason for R-rated UK discs to be in Australia. Many reasons, and that's just one of them. And so the main thing, though, that happened in Take-Two Interactive, knowing that R-rated games usually can get an MA15 plus, well, they actually chose to go ahead and release GTA 3 as this hybrid version with the UK disc before they'd heard back from the OFLC about what Australia's rating for the game would be. So this is, number one, why you do have a disc that is from the UK in an Australian version. This is also why this first Australian version with the UK disc also has the MA15 rating, MA15 plus rating printed on the cover, and that was actually because Take-Two took a gamble and just printed it on there, because they figured that it'll get the rating. They assumed it'll get the rating that they thought it would, but it didn't. So this is why you have the seemingly mismatched disc with this MA rating. So now, getting back to the rating, because it did get the MA15 plus rating after it had already got banned, because remember, it actually got on stores, yeah, I mean illegally. That's why I got pulled. It hit stores illegally before it had the rating. So, long story short, any rating, any Australian rating on the disc that you see, any version that's MA15 or whatever, if it's an Australian version on a disc, then it's a modified copy, because this game got banned because the MA15 version that we eventually got is a modified version. So yeah, I've seen a couple of discs out there where the MA15 Plus logo is white, just like the cover, and it's on the disc, and it's an Australian version, but that's actually after the ban, because that's a true rating at that point, because you got to remember that the MA15 Plus on the cover is actually not the real rating until it actually failed the process and then repassed. So that that was something I wanted to say about that. Just another thing about manuals and maps, because those inserts are specific. There are codes and changes on them that are specific to that first version, but obviously the manuals and maps, there's no issue with the content in them, so they still had to use them. So there is an in-between period, I guess. Like, there's the first version, and then you've got the modified disc that has, say, the manual and map from the first version, and then maybe a bit later you've got the modified disc and, say, the new manual. And when I say new manual, I mean nothing's changed except it's no longer 50330, it's now 50793 to fit with this new modified version. But it still might have the 50330 map, and then eventually the full 50793 CIB came out. So the reason I'm just getting at that is that you can still find pieces of this first version if you know what to look for. So if you might come across the map, you might have the map. I've put a few of them together, just stumbling across a platinum version of GTA 3 in cache converters with the... Actually, I probably shouldn't say it was a platinum, but you come across versions in caches. I've had versions with the discs are just scratched as shit. They're just useless. But I'll take the manual and map out of those ones, thank you, because I know that they're the original ones. So I guess the harder part, although I mean it is all hard to put together, especially these days. That was kind of a reason for this video, because I am finding it harder to come across them. Not that I have a huge mass of them, but I reckon probably once every few months I'll try and just see if they're around, and if there's one around and it looks like in nice shape, I might consider buying it on eBay or whatever. But yeah, lost my train of thought. So it looks like that is the end of that. So any questions, comments? Oh, actually, I will mention one thing. It's common knowledge, the info's out there, but just in case anyone had wondered, by the time GTA 3 came out on the original Xbox, it was in the Vice City and GTA 3 double pack. This was long after the whole debacle. And when I say long after, I mean months and that. So there isn't an Australian version of GTA 3 with the hooker stuff in it. So just in case anyone had wondered. Alright, cheers, thank you.